Hey everyone, this is Yash Naik. So today we'll be discussing migration in this video. So objective of this video is to migrate one repository from Azure DevOps to a GitHub platform. Okay, so also I'll be showing the Bitbucket migration as well, and we'll talk about the possibilities of the automation using the pipelines here. Also, I would like to add, like, we won't be discussing the scripts and the workflow in detail. So let's start.
As we know, like we have different platforms to host our code. um, Maybe people will have their code hosted in Azure DevOps or Bitbucket or maybe like GitLab. So today we will be discussing about the solution that GitHub is providing us to migrate the repositories from the Azure DevOps and the Bitbucket server to the GitHub platform. So the reason to migrate this is like to get the perks of the perks that GitHub offers in terms of GitHub Actions and the AI integration that they have. Okay, so as we all know, like they are the underlying technology behind the Azure DevOps and the Bitbucket is Git itself. So it becomes very easy to migrate on these repositories and the codes from the cross platform, from these cross platforms, that is Azure and the Bitbucket. So let's go ahead and look into the documents that we have that GitHub has provided on their webpage. So you can just search for these documents. Okay, so you will get something document in this format here. Okay, so let's come down here. So the expectation is to have the GitHub CLI installed. Okay, so that would be the very first requirement here, that your the workplace that you will be using, or the maybe the machine that you will be using. It can be any Ubuntu or the Linux machine, or it can be any PowerShell device. Okay, so the expectation here is to have the GitHub CLI installed. Okay, and from there we'll go ahead and install the follow these steps. So we can come down here and see the very first step here. It says we need to install this particular extension, which is proprietary by the GitHub itself. Okay, so let me just pull my environment here and start looking into it. So I have already installed the GitHub CLI. So that would be to confirm this, let me just pass it. Yeah, so I have the GitHub CLI installed. Okay, so so here what is next is, like, we should be making sure my GitHub is logged in. Okay, so my GitHub should be logged in. Yes, I have my GitHub logged in. Okay, and it has all right. So okay, so I have my GitHub installed and GitHub CLI installed, and my authentication is also in place. Okay, so the other way is to log into this is, like, you can export GitHub token if you have any token with you. I'm expecting if you're performing this migration from Azure to GitHub or any other platform, I'm expecting you to know about the tokens. Okay, so tokens, yes. So once you have this token, you just have to export it. Okay, so it will automatically logged in. And the other way is, so you can just stay GitHub state like GitHub auth login. Okay, it will pull you these options, and either you can go by the web browser or paste the token here. Okay, so either way, if you do this, you just have to click on this link and copy this code, and yes, continue, pass it, continue, authorize. Okay, so it should log in here any moment. Maybe some glitch in my device. Let me just try it again. Okay, here we go. So we are all set. The next thing is we need to install this extension which documentation says. Let's go ahead and install this. Okay, I have already installed it. Okay, so here we will be talking about the Bitbucket to GitHub migration as well. So let's go ahead and install that as well. Okay, so yeah, I have installed the extension as well. So next thing is this is like if you already have the previous version of the extension, you can get it upgraded here and move for the next step. So the next step would be the setting up the environments here, right? So the only two environments that it expect to be exported is GitHub path and the ADO path. Okay, so these path, the scope of these paths, if you go just one page top, so if you click on the manage access and if you scroll down, this document will talk about the migration role, migrator role, and the access that your pet should be having. Okay, so if you see here, migrator is responsible for running repository migration and downloading the migration logs. Okay, and this is the organization owner. So these are needed for your inventory report. So we'll talk about inventory. Okay, so migrator, when you generate the pet tokens, you should be so there are two pet tokens we'll be talking here, that is ADO and GitHub, right? In GitHub as well, you should be having two different pet tokens with two different scopes. The one pet token would be needed from the admin side, and that is like full scope pet token. And why it is needed is to generate the inventory report. What is inventory report? Inventory report is something like if you have like around like 5 organization, 10 organization, hundreds of projects and thousands of repositories, your inventory report will have all that metadata in it. Okay, so that would be your source of truth, and you should be referring it to segregate and make the batches of the migration. So it is not recommended to migrate huge load of repositories and put it in a migration process and run the migration. That is not recommended, because this GitHub it depends on like what is the load that is being carried by this tool at any given time, right? So we should not be passing huge number of repositories at at a single time, because there's higher chances it might fail to migrate as well. So we should not be taking that chance, and we should be maybe like hundreds of repos at any time. But yeah, so that is the main purpose of having this inventory report. Okay. And yeah, so it will also generate the pipelines.csv. So that pipelines.csv will contain all the pipelines that is having associated with these repositories, and that should be rewired. So why rewiring is needed is so your source code will be migrated to GitHub, right? And your pipeline will be still in your Azure DevOps. And so as long as you want to keep those keep those just give me a second, let me just mute these pings. At 205. Okay. Yeah, so we were talking about the pipelines that will be still present in the ADO, right? But the source code will be moved to the GitHub, right? So in order to make use those existing pipeline, if you are not planning to redesign the GitHub Actions pipeline soon after the migration, we can have these pipelines in the ADO rewired to the GitHub. Okay, so your source code will still be present in the GitHub, but it will make use of the pipeline in the ADO, right? So we can make use of rewiring pipeline flag, and point the source of this pipeline to GitHub. Okay, so that is the main use of it. And similarly, we can have the boards integration done as well. We'll talk about it in the in this video in later part. Okay, so these are not needed. Migration role, we spoke about the migration roles and all. Okay, come back to the migration repositories documentation. We have upgraded, we have passed the tokens. Okay, and yeah, so these are the scripts. Like if you want to generate the scripts for like if you have like huge load of repositories, and if you want to pass those, if you want to migrate those repositories in a single go, you can generate these scripts as well. So we have few scripts generated, like bash script and the PowerShell script, and also I've designed a pipeline as well around this script. So I'll show that solution as well. So let's just try and migrate one of the repositories manually, then we can go ahead. Okay, so this is the command. This is the command which we are using to migrate the repository. Okay, so this will expect you to have the add ADO org, ADO team project, ADO repo that you want to migrate. Okay, and this is the destination. Okay, destination org, and the GitHub repo name that needs to be migrated. Okay, then okay, so what we can do is, let me just export my pad tokens here. I'll stop sharing for the security reason, and just give me a second. Okay, I have exported my pet tokens in here, so let's go back to the migration. uh, okay, so so our target is to migrate from these. So these repos I'm targeting to migrate. So I have few repos in here. Okay, this would be my organization and the project and the repositories. I'm planning to migrate this to this. Yeah, so this organization in the GitHub. This is my private personal GitHub, and this is my organization. So I'm planning to move those few of these repos from Azure to GitHub. Okay, so let's see like what is the expectation from this command. Okay, it needs what let's paste it here and edit it as we go. Okay, let's start from the beginning. So it is expecting ADO org, right? So my ADO org is this. Okay, Shtinike is my ADO org. My team project is what? My team project is migration demo. Let me paste it here. ADO org that I'm migrating is maybe Calo Tracker is the application that I want to migrate. Okay, GitHub organization. My GitHub organization is this one. Okay, and the name I want to give, this is completely on the migrator what name he wants to give. Maybe like he can give any different name as well if he want to change the name of the repo. This would be the chance for him to change it, right? So let's run it. Yes, so as you can see, we have got the migration ID in here. Okay, so this would be the migration ID, and in case like if you want to look for the logs and all, so I'll show that as well. So this particular tool will generate the verbose log and the debug log, so you can just go inside those logs and look for, like, in case any failure occurs, you can just go and get those logs and understand like what has caused the migration failure. Okay, let's see. Let it migrate. Okay, so that's a good start. Okay, I was expecting this, and I have purposefully had made a mistake here, so that I wanted to show a log for it, like okay, so you can see I had put one extra A in here, right? So this, you can see like it says like it could not find this particular repositories. Okay, even if you click in this here, it will say it is the repo doesn't exist. Okay, sorry. Okay, let me just if I open this, it will say repository does not found. Okay, if I rectify my issue mistake, it will immediately open the repo. Okay, so this is how you should be in case of any failure occurs, this is how you should be tracking this issue and go back and rectify the mistake that you must have done. Okay, so let me just show you the purpose of this mistake was like to show you the verbose log here, right? So if you just run ls here, right, so you can see a few of the logs are generated here. So this is like verbose logs. Okay, if you get this log, it will give you the exact issue that had occurred and which had failed this migration. Okay, so if you read it here, right, so it says you do not have the permission. So it is it must have written with some 404 issue. Okay, so that is the reason it says like it either that particular repo does not exist or you don't have the permission to that particular repo. Okay, so yeah, so this is how you can read the logs and try to fix it. Okay, so let's go ahead and fix the issue that the mistake that we had created. Let's okay. We spoke about in inventory report as well, right? So this I'll show like how to generate that as well. So this is just like one repo migration that I'm showing. Okay, once this is done, let's go ahead and see like how we can automate these to migrate multiple repos in batches and all, right? So for that we would require inventory reports. Okay, I'll show like how we can generate the inventory report and make use of those inventory report to automate our workflows and migrate hundreds and thousands of repositories in a single go. Okay, so this is just like very basic level, like how to migrate a single repository. This would be like our foundation stone for the automation. So I wanted to show these things in advance. If we come back here and if we see this, yeah, so this repo has started migrating. You can see here. So it depends on your repo size as well. Like the time of migration would completely depend on the amount of the workload that you have in your repo. Okay, as we can see here, the repo migration is succeeded, and all the repos should be migrated here. I mean, the repo along with its commits and the PR should be migrated. Yeah, so you can see here 125 commits along with the migrations, and yeah, I think this particular repo doesn't have the pull request. Okay, so you can open this migration log and see for the migration log as well. Okay, so you can see everything is successfully completed, and you are good to continue your work on this particular repo from GitHub. Okay, so next thing would be just going ahead and so yeah, this is the one. So later what you can do is you can this is like completely optional. You can just go ahead and disable this repository also. Okay, come here and just disable it. Okay, so yeah, so once this is done, you're done with this. Okay, let's go back and talk about the inventory report. Okay, so if you do this, so we have successfully migrated, and if you just do help, it will show the options you have here with this tool. Okay, so it gives an option to generate inventory. It gives an option to rewire. We spoke about rewiring, right? So I'll show it in action in the pipeline as well. So for that, what is needed is like you should be having your so that would be a completely different video. Okay, so but still let me just show you. So you should be needing the service connections. Okay, so if you come here and generate, you should be generating the service connection from here and making use of that ID. Okay, this ID would be needed. Anyways, I'll destroy this after this video, so I'm just showing it as a demo. Okay, so this is what needed. Okay, so let's generate the inventory report. So let ADO to GH inventory report. Okay, let's see what it expects. Okay, it will expect you to have ADO org and ADO pat. Okay, so ADO org, as we know, like it is HT9, and ADO pat is, I think I have already passed it, right? So let me just fetch it in this manner. Yeah, okay, so you can see it is generating the reports for me. I'll get it and show as well. Yeah, so it has generated multiple CSV. You can see there are two CSV that is getting generated, repos.csv and the pipeline CSV, right? Repos.csv. This has generated like all the present repos that we have in this organization here, right? So all these repos, the repository report it has generated, and the pipeline associated with. Yeah, so it has two pipelines and it has generated the report for it. Okay, so yeah, this is the source of truth you can keep as a reference, and you can take few repository at a time in batches and try to migrate it. So how to make use of it, or use of these pipelines.csv and repos.csv, let me come back here and show you. Okay, let me go to pipeline. Okay, so let me go first to repositories. Okay, so this is the repository that we have created for automation. Okay, so it has we have generated these two files in here, right? So we just have to, you know, make changes into these uh, repository CSV and save it here and do a commit here. Okay, once that is done, we have something called area to GH migration.yaml. So this is the pipeline that will, you know, fetch these two CSV files and try to migrate things to these. Okay, so let me just flush my, so this is basically the random script that I've created to flush my organization, sorry. So I've cleared it. Okay, so this should have been gone from here. Yeah, so it has cleared. Okay, let me come back to the pipeline. So in this repositories, so I'll tell you, like, so it has few scripts written and a pipeline. Okay, so this pipeline will refer these scripts and these two CSV files that we generated from the command here, and try to automate it and migrate one repository at a time. Okay, so I've set up this here. Okay, if I run it, I have few options like how many repos in a parallel I want to migrate. Okay, so we spoke about the rewiring of the pipeline and the boards, right? So rewiring of the pipeline would require only the service connection that I showed already. So that you need to come and pre-populate it in here. So you just have to copy that service connection ID and put it here. That's it. That is the only changes that you need to make, and run the pipeline. So it will automatically pick it from that CSV file and start running. Okay, so we have few pre-stages in here. Okay, so this will check for the this will basically will run few API calls and make it check whether any open warnings you have. Okay, these are the warning. I can see open PR is there, so we have to make sure, like, take a decision on this, whether I should be moving ahead and migrating the stuff even with the open PR, although it is not mandatory to close it, because migration will take this PR, open PR, to GitHub as well. Okay, so but this is kind of, you know, warning that it will give, and it would require a review and a approval. Okay, so if I say resume, it will go ahead and start migrating. Okay, so let's not waste time because I have already ran it. Let me just show you what it does. So I've shown you these with the warnings. Okay, then it will run the migration, okay, in parallel. So you can see here it has migrated, and validation script. So it will now again make use of the APIs in the both platform, that is ADO and GitHub, and try to check for branches, commit, and the SHA values. Okay, so if it is matching, it will say matching. Okay, and this will generate a report like this. Okay, then rewiring pipeline, we spoke about rewiring pipeline, right? So we just have to have that service connection in place. Once that is done, it will automatically rewire any pipeline that is there in this that is passed in that pipeline.csv. Okay, so and it will give you this kind of so we entirely we can create a new video for this. Like it will take 1 hour or so if I try to build it from scratch. Okay, we can discuss it in the future. Okay, and yeah, this is like integration of the board. You can see I have integrated my boards for one repo that I had migrated. Okay, yeah, that should be it. Let me see like what is the status of this. that is still migrating. You can see this two parallel execution of the migration is going on. I should see two repositories getting migrated here. Yeah, and there it is. Like you can see two. Okay, let's see. Similarly, let me show you the workflows. So everything is same with the Bitbucket. The only thing that you need for Bitbucket server is your key pair, so that you need to generate with keygen, right? So you need to generate a key pair in your host machine where the Bitbucket server is running, and you would require the public key. Okay, so the public key you should be saving in .ssh, and private key should be passed with the command. Okay, so you can do, you can just you can save that as a variables. You can see here, you can save those as a secret variables, and that is it. So we have written few workflows with the same scripts, and those are the same scripts that is being used. And so yeah, it will migrate in a way, and it will generate this kind of reports for you, and along with that it will look for like post validation as well. So if it is migrated, it will give everything green, and you will have the logs as well. In case something goes wrong, you can come here and get for the problematic migration, right? And you can try to fix it and move ahead. Okay, and yeah, that so Bitbucket is altogether different. We have little different procedure in here. Like it generates an issue, migration issue, you have to come here and approve it. Okay, so you can see here, yeah, so this is the one I approved yesterday, so it will expect someone to approve for the migration. Once that is done, it will run for the stages and try to migrate those. Okay, so basically it is same. It will look for the PR, open PR. Okay, then it will migrate, then wait for the approval, migrate, and then validate. Similarly, the way we saw it here, right? So yeah, okay, so we have got migration success, I believe. Yes, 2 out of 2. I should see 2 repositories in here. There you go. And I should be seeing few open PR that I saw in my pre-checks, if I'm not wrong. Let's refresh it. System is a little slow, I believe. Yes. Oh, okay. It didn't see any open PR. It was the running pipeline. Okay, that is the same pipeline that we were trying to. Okay, it makes sense now. Okay, there's no open PR. Okay, if something is there, it should show it here. Okay, so there's no active open PR, so that should be good enough. Okay, so Yeah, it has. Yeah, I think it is rewiring also. Okay, I think it is executed successfully, and yeah, so this should be good. Yeah, we can make a video of setting up these pipelines uh, for ADO to GH as well as Bitbucket to GH as well in future. Okay, so yeah, so I should be done for today, and if anything, you can post your comments and questions in the comment box. I would respond them. Uh, as and when I see those. Okay, so okay, so we should be good enough for today. Have a good day. Thank you very much for being with me.